Hi, welcome back. So in this video, I'm going to be talking about the differences between Git and GitHub. So I'm going to be talking about what GitHub is, and I'm not going to go into detail because we have a whole section on that and I want to save it for there. But I'm just going to go over an overview of about what it does, what GitHub is, so that you can start to identify some of the differences between Git and GitHub. So first of all, let's talk about what GitHub is. So pretty much GitHub allows you to store your Git repositories. Just think of repositories as folders for now. We're not going to talk about them yet. We're going to talk about them when we start using Git in depth. But just think of them as folders where you store your timeline or your Git timeline, your source control. So GitHub basically allows you or gives you some server space to store your repositories remotely. So you can see I put a little comment there. It's in the name. It's called GitHub, hub for, Git pretty much. I'm sure you understand. So you can interact with this through your local machine through the push-pull system. I'm going to be referring to this a lot until we get to it, but pretty much just think of it as a way to get information from your GitHub repository and give information to your GitHub repository. So we're just going to use this push and pull system to interact with it. So GitHub is not just used to store it somewhere and get rid of it. It's mainly used to open up a lot of new opportunities for Git, and it just adds a lot of new functionality. So for example, you can actually add collaborators. So you can work on the project with your team members, for example, if you're working in a company, or let's just say you're building some small, maybe fun application with your friends. You can put it on GitHub, and then all 3, 4, 5 of you, however many of you, you can all interact with it at the same time. Now, this is based on collaborators, and we're going to talk about, collaborations, GitHub, all of that in a later section. So you don't need to worry about how to do this yet. We're just going to talk about what GitHub does. So this is what you need to take away. GitHub stores your repositories on their servers, and it just gives you a whole lot of new functionality on top of Git. So let's talk about the differences between Git and GitHub. Now, if you haven't already identified them, I'm going to give them to you for you. So here you go. So Git is the source control software that allows you to create these snapshots and push them, and it gives you all of the functionality, the backbone, kind of the skeleton of source control. Whereas GitHub works with Git to add more functionality and, for example, store these Git repositories on their servers. So GitHub kind of not only builds off of Git, but it gives you a platform to use Git. So it's kind of like SourceTree in a way, in that it allows you to interact with Git in a more user-friendly fashion, but it's not just about that. It gives you a way to work with Git under a new perspective, and it gives you a whole lot of new functionality. So let's just think of it this way. Git is the bones and flesh of source control. You can see I put that comment there. It's the bare bone, it's what builds source control software, and then GitHub just works with Git to give you a new perspective and new opportunities on the source control software. So that's what you need to take away. Alright, so now that we've gone over GitHub and Git and how all of the differences work, we're going to start moving on and actually setting up our software. And now that you have a full understanding of some of the background theory behind Git, GitHub, and the differences between them. Alright, let's move on.